Anthony, welcome to Huddersfield Town. That feels incredible to say. It must be nice to hear as well.
Yeah, it is, to be fair. It's something I've wanted to happen now for a few weeks, and it's finally over the line, so I'm absolutely buzzing to get it done.
We've been doing your media, talking to you a little bit about your experiences so far, and it's been clear that this is something you're really excited to take on and come and join us.
It is, to be fair, yeah. It's been presented as a project, you know what I mean? The club shouldn't be in the level that it is. Obviously what happened last year happened. There's obviously a target for this year, and that's to get out the division. And then once you're up out of this division, who knows what can happen.
We're going to come back to Huddersfield Town and yourself and next season in a little bit, but we wanted to learn a bit more about you, give the fans to learn a bit about you, go through your career a little bit. People can tell from your accent, you're from Merseyside, from Liverpool. You started your career at both of the teams in Liverpool, but most of your youth career was at Everton, is that correct?
Yeah, it is, yeah. I was at Liverpool when I was really young and then switched over to Everton. It must have been about 9. Then I stayed at Everton until I was 21 and then went overseas.
That's a big move to make at such a young age as well, going over to Paderborn in Germany, a Bundesliga club. Obviously the pandemic at the same time must have made that an even tougher transition than what it would have been normally.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I just got there just before the pandemic had kicked off. Once I was there and the pandemic was going on, it was obviously carnage, but at the start, again, it was a project that I believed in. It was obviously at a much higher level than I was playing at the time, so it really intrigued me, and it didn't really go as planned, but it's part of the journey.
It must make you at such a young age as well, give you a bit of maturity. You have to fend for yourself a little bit more, learn a new culture, learn all these different things. Even though the footballing side of it didn't go to plan, especially with all the things happening in the world around the same time, you must have left feeling a different person probably. Yeah,
definitely. A lot of good life experiences come out of it. I lived on my own for the first time. Wasn't having to rely on anyone, and I think I'm a better person for it.
You obviously had a few loans as well before you left Everton. We were talking that one of them at Blackpool you crossed paths with one of our first team players already, Ollie Turton. It must be nice that there'll be one familiar face at least in the dressing room for you.
Yeah, of course, it's always nice to see familiar faces. Obviously looking forward to meeting the lads. I've had a good bunch of lads, so hopefully settle in easily.
You've obviously known Herbie Kane for a little while as well, who's one of our latest signings, who's the last one in before you. It's been a busy week here, I'm losing count. To be able to see somebody of his level who's obviously performed in this division the same way you have, want to come here, probably talks to the ambition of what we want to achieve next season. Yeah,
definitely. I played with Herbie at the youth levels at England, got on really well, and then I spent the last few years playing against him, and as you can tell, he is a top player, to be fair, and I'm looking forward to playing with him.
Just thinking now at the top of my head, that's a Bristolian that was in Liverpool, and you're a Liverpudlian that's in Bristol. You've crossed positions a little bit in your journey to Huddersfield Town. Let's talk about the ambition and your discussions before coming here. You've obviously spoken to the new gaffer, Michael Duff, the sporting director, Mark Cartwright. How have those conversations gone? I'm not going to ask you for details of what they've been discussing, but they must have given you a good feeling.
No, they did, and that's exactly why I'm sat here right now. They've shown they believe in me to play a big part in getting this club back to where it belongs and further. So, like I said earlier about the project, it's something I believe in and want to be a part of.
The gaffers talked a lot about attitude and not just being able to play, but having the right personality as well in the dressing room. You've won the armband a few times at your previous place. You've obviously got a hard-working attitude, and the steps you've taken in your career previously show your own ambition. That must line up enough for you to think that's somebody you can follow in and want to play for properly. Yeah,
definitely. And I've played against his teams. At Barnsley, they were a good side. They were tough to play against. They were full of honest lads. I think if he's putting a team together that are going to be a full bunch of honest lads who are going to give everything for the shirt. So that's a big part of why I'm here as well, to play for someone who gives belief in you and wants lads that are around you who are going to fight for each other.
The first thing that Town fans will do when they've probably already done it with you being linked for a little while is Google you, watch some highlights. An attacking midfielder, exciting, popping up with goals, assists. In your own words, how would you describe yourself as a player?
Yeah, I think I've always based my game around goals and assists. Obviously, I don't mind doing the dirty work. I get stuck in. I like a tackle. I'll do my defensive duties, but I'd say a bit of an all-rounder. But the higher up the pitch you get, the more excited I get about playing football.
I think it's fair to say that at Bristol Rovers, that's where your career really found a consistency and started to get better year on year. That's a nice thing to see in a player's statistics, is that there's progression every season. That obviously resulted last year at 25 years old and being Player of the Year. Just talk to us about everything falling into place for you on the pitch and how good it was last season for you.
Yeah, I mean, last season was built off the back of the seasons before. You know, I was really lucky, to be fair, with the manager at the time, Joey, giving me a chance to play. I hadn't put any games back to back for a long time before going to Bristol Rovers, and now sitting here, I think I've played over 140 games in 3 years. So yeah, it's been a really big part of making me the player I am today. I'll always be grateful to Bristol Rovers, and it was great. Obviously last year kicked on a bit. With the season before, as a team, we didn't really succeed and do what we wanted. But on a personal note, last season I was pleased. I got some good numbers up there. It could have been better, but always room for improvement.
You've had the chance to have a little bit of a look around the training ground, doing some of your medical stuff. We've shown you around the stadium a little bit, taking photos of you, which I'm sure you enjoyed, and thank us for. It's clear with all the work that's going on around here, the money that's going in, the investment we're making, not just on the field but off it, that, you know, you talk to the fact that we've obviously got an ambition as a club, but that's in everything we do. We want to get better in every department. That must, when you sign a 3-year contract, to give you a bit of heart that you join in a place that wants to get better and has their sights set quite high.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an eye-opener, to be fair. I didn't expect it to be as high quality as what it was. You know, obviously Huddersfield's a massive club, but it's still a bit taken back with everything, and it's been great so far, and I'm really looking forward to getting stuck in.
The last thing I'll ask you then is, there's obviously a great deal of excitement starting to build now with supporters about the season to come, with the new lads coming in, with the new head coach. What would your message to the fans be ahead of the new year?
I think forget the past. I think we're building something new. Got a new manager. He's got new players coming through the door with a lot of ambition, and we've got one target in mind, and that's to get out this division.
Anthony, thank you very much for your time and welcome to Huddersfield Town.
Thanks very much.